Happy Friday, legends. Welcome to another episode of the Aussie OCR podcast. I'm very pumped this evening to be chatting to Robyn Koszta, the female winner of the True Grit Enduro 24-hour Aussie titles over the weekend. Now, Robyn ran 11 laps of that brutal Enduro course over the weekend, which totaled about 121 Ks. I think it was probably a little bit closer to 130, including the pit laps, and I think that was about 350 obstacles in total. She beat out her closest competitor by a full lap. So pumped to hear just how Robyn managed to do that. And here she is. Robyn, how you going?
Yeah, good, thanks.
How are you feeling? Can you walk properly yet?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Pretty good.
I was pretty stiff for the first few days. We jumped straight in the car too and drove about 5 hours, so that didn't help at all.
5 hours, because you're from Queensland. So did you go halfway home?
Yeah, about halfway.
Beautiful, beautiful. And back up in the warm weather. It's cold down in Sydney.
Yeah.
It's cold. I'm used to the Gold Coast now. So how did you go about recovering? Actually, what I might do first, just before you answer that, I might just very quickly share this video in a couple of places. And thank you for taking the time to chat to me on your Friday night. Definitely appreciate it. I might do it off my phone. I think that's going to be quicker. Have you got much on for the evening?
No, not much on this weekend. We're converting our shed at the moment, so I'm helping my husband do all that.
Beautiful. Okay, we'll just very quickly. I might just throw this in the going long group, because I know there are a couple of people who wanted to catch it out of that group. Okay, one sec. There we go. I think it's up there. Do you want to just shuffle just a tiny bit to the left as well? There we go. Perfect. Okay, now I'll just share it in the FootFam group. And we're in. All right. So now people know that it's happening. People will start jumping in, guys. If you are watching, give us a hashtag live. If you're watching a replay later, give us a hashtag replay. And what I can then do is I can bring the comments on screen. So Dominica's here with me. Lisa's here. Maddie Probes is here as well. Awesome to have you guys with us on your Friday night. So Robyn, how did you go about recovering after your crazy enduro effort? What did recovery look like?
Honestly, it wasn't what I'd probably do if I was ultimately doing, but like I said, I jumped in the car for 5 hours, so that wasn't great, and then jumped in the car again the next day and drove about another 5 hours. So by the time we got home, didn't really feel like doing anything.
Did your husband have to lift you out of the car? I reckon I would have just fallen out.
It's getting harder and harder each time getting out. Just this sitting, like as soon as I got moving, I was good, but that physically getting out of the car was, I think I look like a 90-year-old grandma, but I got there.
There was a bit of that going around on Sunday, don't worry.
Yeah. But apart from that, like I've jumped in the pool a few times over the last few days, and
beautiful.
I a lot of time on the couch this week, so
you've earned it.
Yeah, I've got the ability that I don't have to go and work, so I made the most of it.
Yeah, awesome. And have you completed Enduro before?
No, this is my first one.
I thought it might have been your first one. So you just turned up and won it.
Yeah, tried my best.
You did absolutely amazing. You beat closest competitor by a full lap, Jackie Richardson, I think, from memory.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a pretty tough field. There's some pretty tough cookies out there running laps around there, and Yeah. Did you sort of know what you were in for when you were going into enduro? Had you done any crazy long distance stuff like this before?
No, the longest I had done was the um, Spartan Ultra last year,
Yep.
and that's sort of what kick-started this. So I was originally going to be in a team for enduro, and I did Spartan Ultra, and I sort of turned around to them and said, "Look, if you guys can get somebody else for the team, I would love to have a crack by myself." And they were super supportive and said, "Yep, no worries." And they found someone else, and so I
Yeah,
just
cool.
kept running a bit further than what I would have otherwise. So
Yeah, cool. How did you go at the Gold Coast Ultra? Did you win that?
yeah, yeah,
You did. You did. Because that was a pretty tough day in the office too.
that was
So that,
that was
yeah, that would have given you that would have given you a little bit of prep for the heat, definitely.
yeah.
Hmm. What have you been running the long stuff for a long time? I know obviously you've been running. I've definitely seen you at the shorter OCR races for a couple of years now. Um, have you been doing the
No,
long stuff for a while?
I did my first marathon last year.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
with everything last year, things closed. Um, I sort of just went, oh, I'm gonna run. So
Yeah,
yeah,
cool,
and like I
cool,
don't mind
cool.
the run. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're good at it, so keep doing it. What sort of background do you have? You know, did you grow up playing sport or anything? How did this all start?
I, I did sport and stuff when I was younger, but nothing overly competitive. Um, After having kids, I decided I needed to do exercise.
Mm-hmm.
um, so there's 23 months between my kids. So when I was after my son, I started exercising, and I saw people training for an obstacle course, and I was like, oh, I want to try that.
Yeah,
But then I felt pregnant again, so I had to wait. And then that was my goal after having my daughter. I was like, I want to go and do one of these.
yeah,
So when she
cool.
was 10 months old, I went and did my first obstacle course race, and it's just snowballed from there. So
Been hooked since. What was your
yeah,
first race? What was your first
um,
win?
it was the Stampede.
Hmm.
So yeah,
How long ago was that?
that was in 2014.
Yeah, cool. And been running since.
Yeah, yeah. So I just did it with friends and stuff for quite a few years, and then
Yep.
I decided I wanted to see what I could do and push a little bit harder. So,
Yeah, cool. And what sort of training do you usually do?
um, I do obviously running. um, I'm very lucky. My husband built me a monkey gym in my backyard, so
Beautiful.
I've got monkey bars and walls and all sorts of things out there.
Yeah,
Um,
cool.
and then I do one PT week and one group session a week, and everything else is up to me what I do and
Yeah,
how I
cool.
do it. Yeah,
So you handle all your own sort of programming and everything?
yeah,
Yeah, wow. Are you in fitness yourself?
no,
Oh, wow. So it's all just sort of self-taught. You've sort of learnt along the way.
yeah. So my husband, he'll generally do my running programs for me.
Okay.
So he'll we sit down together and do it, but he's the one that's read the books and has more of an
Cool.
idea. I smile and nod, and if it's too much, I'll say no, that's not going to work. So
Yeah, cool. Cool. Is he a coach?
no,
Oh, cool. So just sort of self-taught.
yeah.
No, well, that's pretty awesome. Might have a little career there in coaching. Do you think you're going to do more of this long stuff? You've obviously got a bit of an
Um,
aptitude for it.
I think so. I enjoy it. It's I think because I've been running with the elite girls in
Mm.
Spartan for a while. I'm not fast enough. Like I'm
For
comfortable.
for
I'm
the, for the
normally
shorter stuff.
yeah. Like I can stay in the top 10, and I'm happy with that. I don't have a problem with that. But it's nice to push harder and do like achieve something else. So
Yeah.
I can accept that I don't run fast, but if I can run slow and just keep going, that I'm happy with that. So
Yeah. Well, it takes a different kind of determination, I think, to be able to go out there and run long and run consistent and, wade into personal hell that you do during enduro. It takes a bit of resilience, especially in the early hours of the morning. How do you find the drive to push through that pain that is definitely there?
um, I don't know. I sort of just broke it down and just it didn't. I sort of went in with two goals. So I had a best case scenario goal that I'd like to
Hmm.
achieve, but then going in, never done it before. I had the goal to just keep moving for as long as I possibly could in that 24 hours.
Sure.
So, and that's just what I tried to do. There were some obstacles that I was like, oh, there's that one coming up, and I was like, no, it's just another obstacle. So I sort of tried to push it out of my head and there was a point in the course that each time I got there, I was like, oh well, it's all downhill from here now. So
Yeah.
it didn't really. I sort of just tried to not look at it as a whole lap, just break
Yeah.
it down and keep pushing on and like sort of tell myself, well, if you only finish this up, then you've done everything that you can. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And was there anything specifically? Dominic has just asked a question. Was there anything specifically that you did for your prep in the lead up? What was the high target? Did you hit that?
No,
No.
I was on lap short, and I knew it was an ambitious goal, but that's why it was a best case scenario goal. So,
Yeah.
uh,
How
um,
sorry, I
sorry,
just cut you
prep
off there.
wise,
Yeah.
like with training,
Yeah.
yeah. I did a lot of running. Um, so I was doing, I think I built up to about 110. My big week was supposed to be 120 Ks in the week,
Hmm.
but I fell short. I pulled up sore and I walked 9 Ks back to my car. So I did a lot of running and I did back-to-back days. So I'd do like a few shorter runs during the week and then I'd do two big runs Friday, Saturday to
Yeah.
get that
Cool.
endurance sort of side going.
Cool.
And I honestly I didn't know if I'd done enough obstacle work leading up to this. I sort of had a mini panic attack a couple of weeks out going, what if I haven't done enough obstacles?
You you were a little bit worried about like the obstacle fitness.
Yeah. And like I do sessions on out the back every week, but
Yep.
there was part of me that sort of went, oh, maybe I should have been doing more. And I think that's the downside to social media because you see what other people are doing. I
Definitely.
was like, yes,
Definitely.
they're doing all this, you want to be doing more. But I sort of like, I think it comes to you've got to trust your training. And I was reasonably confident in my training, so and yeah,
I believe you did it burpee free too. Is
yes,
that correct?
yeah,
That's a huge effort.
yeah,
It's a huge
yeah,
effort. 352 obstacles, I think
yeah,
I calculated, that's pretty incredible.
yeah. Lucky, I think,
So
on some
the
of them.
uh, so the monkey gym in the backyard's doing the job.
Yeah,
And I was just while you were chatting there, I was just trying to frantically bring up the stats from the race. Just when you said you hit the 11 laps, and the target was 12.
yeah,
Obviously you did enough to win. So that's
yeah.
what, that's what it's about. I don't think, well, except for maybe Jamie, I don't think many people are going out for no point on their last lap. Um, so you did enough to seal the victory, but it looks like you're on course for 22 hours 12. Do you think if Jackie was a little bit hotter on your heels, do you think you could have made it out there for another one?
I think if she was very close and she was going back out, I would have push to go out again. So yeah, she was very close to me for quite a lot of the race. So we were sort of playing cat and mouse there for a little while.
Yeah.
And she would, and then I'd catch up to her. And then I remember one stage I sort of went, look, if she beats me, at least I know she's pushed hard and like she was the better person out here today. But I wasn't going down easy. So and then I didn't know how behind she was either. So that I didn't know she'd stopped at 10. Yeah. So I'd pushed, and I pushed hard on that 11. That was a fast lap for me.
Yeah, she was looking real strong. I think I passed or saw her on her 9th, and she was looking strong, and she came over the line like 8 minutes behind you, and I said, I'm pretty sure like you're right on her heels, and then I think I passed her on while she was on her 10th, and it must have just been that lap just got her. She was or maybe she just finally realized she wasn't going to catch you, and that can be the point where you just sort of break. But I think she was the first time as well hitting enduro.
Yeah, she said
that. Which is crazy. It's crazy because it's a bit of a specialized ability, I think, to go and be able to run for 24 hours straight. It's not something a lot of people can just go and do. So no, that's really cool. When you say the recovery, wasn't ideal. Obviously sitting in a car isn't ideal, but you got to get home. Was there anything that you did do? It sounds like you stayed overnight somewhere. Is there a go-to? Is there a rolling, and anything that you're doing?
No.
Honestly,
the first couple of days especially the first night, I didn't do anything. I was so tired by the time we stopped.
Yeah.
I ate and basically went to sleep. And then I'm pretty sure I did some stretching on the Monday night when I got home.
Yeah.
But nothing too much. And I would have liked to jump in the pool and do more swimming, but I have been absolutely exhausted all week. So even the thought of having to go and uncover the pool and hop in was like too much for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely relate. This is my third enduro, and now I'm like at the point where, I message my clients and stuff, and I say, look, I'm going to be off the radar for a few days because I'm just going to be dead. I find you get a little bit of I call it post-race depression, where you're on such a high going in, your adrenals are pumping, and you're just running on adrenaline, and then when all that stops for the next couple of days, you're just so flat and so tired. So yeah, can definitely relate there. So we've got a couple more people jumping on. Dan's here from AFOS. Adrian Mannix is here. Jimmy Bullard loves the self-taught athlete. Ashley says socials are great for inspiration, but terrible for comparisons. Definitely true. Sean Lusham's here. Matty Probes, what do you think about when you run enduro to keep yourself mentally strong? What's going through your head?
I don't know. I think the breaking it down was the big thing for me, not looking at it as a whole thing and not looking at it as like having a lap goal, not looking at it as I needed to get that many laps, just looking at it in those smaller things. I think that was the main thing for me.
Yeah. Did you have any demons? Was there any point in the race where you sort of went into your head and did the self-doubt creep in?
Not really. I think because I didn't really have anything to prove to anyone. I was being my first one. It was for me. It was to see what I could do and to see how hard I could push. I did do some sleepwalking. I'm very aware. I was walking along and trying to wake myself up. So that was probably the hardest thing, and trying to shake that feeling of basically being asleep and not wanting to be asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Are you coming back? Are you coming back next year now you've had a bit of a taste?
Yeah, I'll come back.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Do you think you can improve?
I think so. I think I was finishing at 22:12. That was very close to being able to fit in another lap,
Yeah.
but not quite. So, and there's areas that I know I can save time on. So, I would like to think that I could come back and push a little bit harder, but it depends on the conditions and everything else as well. So,
Yeah. Who was helping you out in the pits?
I was very lucky. I had my husband there, and I had both my parents were there as well.
Yeah, awesome. Did anyone sort of give you a bit of prep as far as what to expect and what gear to have or any of that sort of stuff?
Not really. So I did a overnight training run.
Okay.
So I did a 15-hour overnight training run.
Yeah, cool.
So check things, see what I needed, test my food, especially overnight. So I sort of had an idea of that. Seeing what people had done in the past, like I knew that people had their wetsuits and their frog skins and that sort of thing. Doing a little bit of research, but not too much. I find looking too much into things can sometimes overwhelm me. So as long as I know sort of what I need to do, I'm happy.
Yeah. Did you get cold? Did you have some frog skins there?
I didn't get too cold. I ended up putting a jacket on, but not the frog skins or wetsuit stuff. I sort of just kept moving, and it was only a small section that I was really cold, and it was only a couple of laps. So I had my jacket. I'd take it off through the water, and then I'd put it back on, and then I'd pull it up through the mud so it didn't get all muddy.
Yeah.
And it kept me warm enough. So
Yeah, cool. Cool. Couple of comments rolling in from Jim Blood. So saying, I love that you were just there for you, see what you could do, and not necessarily there to show people what you got. And he says, and every time you passed me, there was this beaming smile, and your parents. Oh, here's the next one. Your parents were so proud when we spoke after the event, when they saw me walking stiff-legged in to get food.
yeah, they told me that.
It's a huge achievement, girl. It's pretty amazing. What's next for you? Are you going to be at Raw Challenge in a week or two up in Gold Coast?
No.
No?
No. Probably not. I am easing back into running very, very slowly.
Cool.
Making the most of this recovery.
Yeah, you've definitely earned that.
Yeah. So, but my next big thing, like I'll do the Spartans that are coming up. I can't remember what order and what there is, but I'll be at most of them. But I've signed up to the Guzzler, which is a trail run. Yeah, so I've signed up to that.
100 Ks, 50 Ks?
Yeah, there's both. So I'm going to do the 100.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
going for.
I think I think that's fairly savage. Is that a Brisbane event or is that a Melbourne event?
Brisbane.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of elevation in that.
Yeah. When's that one?
July.
Okay. Yeah, cool. And you're gonna do the 100?
Yeah.
Cool. How do you go on the vert? Because Enduro is fairly flat for what it is.
Yeah. I'm okay. I've sort of, because everyone had sort of said that Enduro wasn't super hilly, so I wasn't doing heaps of hill training leading up to it. But I'm not great on the hills. I'm not super fast on them, but I just keep going. So yeah.
Got the mental resilience to just drive by the sounds of things, which is good. Bull saying, see, if you'd only done 3 laps just like him, you'd have been able to come out on my barefoot trail run this week. There's advantages to being ancient and slow. Bull didn't have to have any rest days.
I was quite happy sitting on the couch and eating chocolate this week.
I'm sitting on a couch. I'm sitting on a couch right now. I'm pretty happy. You've earned it. We did have a couple of questions that rolled in. I screenshotted them on my phone. Usually I've got my usually I'm in my office and I've got a couple of screens and we're a little bit low tech while I'm still down in Sydney. But a couple came in from Monica, who was at the presentations there. So she asked a couple of good questions. So I thought I'd get to them. What was the hardest lap and how did you get through it?
Hardest lap was lap 8, and I think I started that at just after 3, and that's when I was sleepwalking.
That's a rough time.
Yeah, so I was and I started to feel sick on that lap too. So I was expecting to feel sick the lap after. So I didn't take any of my ginger blocks or anything with me on lap 8. So it was hard, and even because my husband's like, lap 9 is going to be your hard lap, and then lap 9 I was like, oh yeah, this isn't too bad. So, but by then I'd had some ginger and I was good. So
yeah, cool. So you bounced back pretty strong. Was the sun up for lap 9?
Half of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that helps a great deal.
Yeah.
What nutrition did you use? How did you practice nutrition in advance? Another question from Mon.
So I used gels. I used Cliff Blocks, Vegemite sandwiches, Jats, and noodles were the main things.
Yeah, cool.
I think I stuffed some watermelon in there somewhere along the way as well. And
how good's watermelon?
Yeah. But practicing, the main one was that overnight run. So the 15 hours to practice everything, see what worked, see what didn't work. The main thing I learnt with that is that I can't actually get a lot of food in overnight.
Your body just sort of you just sort of reject it.
Yeah. But like saying that, I kept it all in and I kept putting it in because I knew I had to. So I think consciously eating, not just just doing it. So sort of forcing yourself to do it.
You have to, and if you don't, you'll pay for it. Maybe not that lap, maybe 2 laps later, but you'll fucking pay for it eventually. Jim's just said, have you considered endurance events on a keto diet? What do you usually eat? Do you do anything crazy like no carbs?
No, I have a pretty balanced bit of everything diet. I've got 2 kids, so it's very important to me that they sort of see variety and balance, and they don't say it very often, but every now and then there's a why you want to diet, Mum. It's like, well, everyone's got a diet, sweetheart. So your diet is what you eat. But keto, I've never really looked into it much, and I don't know, it's sort of if what I'm doing is working, I don't normally mess with it too much.
Yeah, fair call. I noticed you've got your Aussie titles shirt on too. Have you taken it off since the race, or you just put it on for the chat?
Yes, it has been. Just put it on.
You're allowed to wear your medal for the whole week. That's the rule. The Spartan Ultra, you can do that as well.
Next time.
Another one from Mon. How does it feel to have done 0 burpees over the 24 hours?
It felt good. So yeah, I think that comment comes because Mon she met me at the rope climb on my last lap.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another lady going around at the same time, and she straight out burpeed out. And Monica's like, "Oh, you're actually going to climb the rope, Rob?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not planning on doing burpees." So, no, good.
Felt good.
Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah.
Not doing burpees is one of my favorite things. Ashley, who I believe is on the chat, had one more question as well. So, or maybe two. Oh, no, she asked, how many times have you done enduro? So, first time. And just said, did you do any 24-hour stints or overnight sessions? We already said that one. How long did you train specifically for enduro?
Only since the start of the year. So because I'd done the ultra back in November, so I sort of had a couple of weeks off after that, and then I'd made the decision to go into the enduro on my own. So training had to pick up again.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, only really since January was like when I sat down, did my plan up, and got going.
Yeah, cool. So you tuned up pretty quick. How did you feel crossing the finish line?
I don't know, just really good. I was relieved that it was over, I suppose. Yeah, just really, really happy. So I think one of my first questions was, oh no, because my husband had already told me that I didn't have to worry about Jackie before I got too close to the finish line. So I think there was that relief that I didn't have to go out and push again. Yeah, and just really accomplished. Yeah.
If you were speaking to somebody that was thinking about doing enduro and they were a little bit hesitant, what would you tell them to do it for a start? What would you say to them?
Yeah, go have a go. It doesn't matter how many laps you do. It's about having a go and just seeing what it's like. And yeah, I think you've got so many options with enduro. You can go out and do your few laps, have your good breaks in between, or you can keep pushing. You can do it as a team. There's so many options. I think, if it's a challenge, and I think if you're up for the challenge, then sure, give it a go.
Yeah, cool. And you've run a heap of laps around with the pros. For anyone looking to get in, for anyone, maybe women looking to get a bit better at the sport, or pretty much anyone looking to get good at the sport, what's the biggest piece of advice that you've got?
Just try. I think you don't know until you do try, until you push a little bit harder. And I sort of fell into the elite group. I sort of just went, oh, I want to try a little bit harder, so I put myself in there and like to see how I could go, and I went all right. So that's where I stayed. Yeah. I think with the age group, like you can jump into age group, see how you're going in there, and then if you're doing well in there, you push up a little bit harder. But I think consistency is probably the main thing. I don't think it matters how hard or how much you do of something, as long as you're consistent with it and keep trying. I think you'll get somewhere. So.
Yeah, definitely. What's one thing you wish you knew when you started that now, years of doing it?
You got to run a lot.
Got to do the Ks.
Running is the key to it all, I think. So.
Were you a runner before you started? Like, did you sort of already have a good running base, or?
No, running is completely foreign to me. So I did swimming when I was younger, and yeah, when I very first started running, I couldn't run 600 meters. So
Yeah, wow.
yeah,
And that, we're talking like 2014?
yes, yeah,
Yeah, wow.
yeah,
So just time, consistency.
yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And Monica is joining us live. We did just cover your good questions. Thank you, Mon. I saw your race write-up too. Good work with that. That was good. Um, is there anything else that you maybe want to give a plug or give a shout out to anyone?
No, no. I should say thank you to Monica because she came for the last few hours and she saw me cross the finish line. So,
Yeah,
but no, I think no, I'm pretty good.
cool. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you wish I did?
No, I think we covered most things.
Easy, easy.
Yeah.
All right, girl. Well, I'll keep it a little bit short. It is Friday night, but thank you for taking the time to chat to me. Super inspiring performance that you put in. Running 11 laps, 121. Did you get a Garmin readout for that by any chance?
Um, I sort of have two parts to my Garmin, and then I missed a lap because
Damn.
I had some technical issues along the way. So yeah,
Oh, because I would yeah, I think it was closer to 12 Ks a lap once you included the pit lane and stuff. It was a little bit
yeah,
longer than the 11, so you're probably closer to about 130 Ks, but 352 obstacles burpee free. So absolutely incredible performance, and inspiring to hear that you've done all of this in since 2014. So
yeah.
consistency is where it's at. You stick around, Robyn, for just a moment, but I will end the live. Thank you for tuning in tonight, guys. I will be at Raw Challenge Dawson tomorrow, Raw Challenge Gold Coast next week. Message me if you want discount codes for either of those, and everyone enjoy their weekend.